Remind myself what you put on this one. No, that's you. This me and then.
And take your camera off, please. Thank you.
Bishop Coles, I found out that we're not doing the 28th.
He done made her a bishop and everything. All right, palms up, I tell you. How do we work that so they can see us? We can't see ourselves. It's just gonna be like that?
Yeah, it's going to be
Talking to my co-host, so we're gonna do this interestingly enough. Hello, Facebook. We are live. I am Rusty, and all formalities are out the window. How's it going? First and foremost, palms up. How's it going out there? I am your host, Dr. Rondell Hamilton, and we've been off the air for quite some time, but boy, do we have a lot to talk to you about. Guys, we're gonna give you a few minutes to let folks know. The link is at www.healthydcandme.org. We are so excited to be back for another week of the Palms Up Show. And for those of you that are new joining us, Palms Up just basically means that we can all lend a helping hand. It's not enough just to be complaining about the problem. We can all roll our sleeves up, give it up to God because we know he's in control, and then go and get that work done, right? Palms up out there. I'm telling you, when it gets so rough, when you just think that you can't go on, we telling you, put your hands up and reach out for help. I am, as I said at the top of the hour, maybe not the top of the hour, just a few minutes. It's a new year and the same old shenanigans. Shame on us. But just know we're working it out. Guys, we're so happy to have the wonderful men joining the platform tonight to support our efforts and our outreach. We've got Bishop Gray with the Agape Men's Ministries out of the district and also serving families in the Prince George's County area. But I'm going to let him tell you a little more about it. You probably recognize him as my wingman, because we've been out in them streets stomping, huh, Bishop? Welcome.
That's right.
I'm going to invite you to introduce us to your guest in just a minute, but I got another guest I want to introduce, and that would be Mr. Michael McGee. Mr. Michael McGee, are you with us?
I am with you.
Oh, there he is.
And palms up. Come on.
Hey, palms up. I was going to say, my soldiers better not be letting me down. You know
there you go.
You know I had to go out there in them streets, Mike, and you know I had to take it on the chin. But you know your girl, you know I'm ready. Hey, Michael, Mr. Michael McGee, our beautiful boy. You got a lot of titles and a lot of hats you wear. Michael McGee and Bishop Gray just been added to the board of Healthy DCME. So I don't want you to read about it. I want you to hear about it. I want them to tell you directly. And then if you want to know more information, you please go to www.healthydcandme.org and check out our About Us page. Guys, we got a lot of work to do, and we've been doing a lot of work, but still, the leadership didn't change, Mike. So, you know, we need our wonderful research partners over there at the Good Bowie State University, HBCU, in his house.
Hey,
Mike, I'm gonna come back and pick you up. I want to go ahead and get into some of this dialogue. I just thank you so much for taking the time to be here. And folks, even though it's 10 after 7, we will finish on time. You got my word. Hey, Mike, hey, Bishop Gray and Agape Men, palms up to you again. Thanks so much for stopping by the Palms Up platform, which we're coming to you from our MAD studio in 2023. It's all about MAD studio programming. What is mad? They say when you got a mental health, something must be wrong with you, right? You must be out of your mind, right? You're out there pulling those guns, you're mad, you're angry, it all is relative, but our mad is MMAD, mindfully, making a difference. If we're going to do it, it needs to count, it needs to impact, and it needs to change your life. Palms up.
That's right. Palms up.
All right, welcome to the platform. Hey DC, how you doing out there? We got so much to talk about. If you guys have already started passing out that Palms Up community report card link, I appreciate you. I thank you so very much, because guys, that's the only way we're gonna get things to change, if we come together. Well, I tell you what, I guess you're all around that town and you see those signs for Rhonda Hamilton still up for mayor, right? I'm just saying, Mike and Bishop Bray and
Come on.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me not start off 2023 shouting out the brothers and not shouting out my right hand. I mean, you just come to take things for granted, but you don't want to do that. My right hand man, we should ride or die. Paul Stuck, overseer codes, and we're gonna do this. We're gonna ride this thing till the wheels fall off. And while we're doing it, we're gonna change some lives in the process, guys. Hey guys, mental health will always matter. I'm your girl. I went out there, they want to know who I am, where I've been. They don't know me. So let me start off the top of the hour with some shout outs. First and foremost, I want to acknowledge today is January the 24th. And today, 1 year ago, I buried my beautiful mother, Queen Regina, MI's mother Regina. We buried her and we haven't let any grass grow under our feet. We've been doing it. And I want you to know, in the memory and in her namesake, we are vigilantly out here doing this mental health work. So I want to give a palms up to Mother Regina and all of our beautiful lives lost over the past year.
That's right.
And prior to. Palms up. That's why we still do the work, because we still have lives to save. And as long as we're still here, it's time to get busy, guys. All right, I know you see the headlines. You know those guns are still going off. You saw me out here stomping. You wasn't sure what you was going to do. I get it. Oh, she can't handle it. You check out that women in politics debate. I can handle it. But I'm going back down there with an army. And that's what we're starting today. Moving forward, the Palms Up platform every Tuesday is going to acknowledge our beautiful community members, those that are doing the work, those that want to do the work, and those that need some work, right? Palms up to you out there. Let's get talking out there. One of the things I saw when you were out there shaking hands, people didn't want to talk to you, didn't want to shake your hand, move their shoulder out the way just to kind of, guys, that's so rude in a city where the guns are going off and our youth are lost. You want them to put the guns down and do what? Talking about mental health is about demons and the devil. Guys, we got to get right. Those guns are not going to stop. One, the leadership hasn't changed. And one thing we know, a mayor serving 3 terms with guns going off the way these guns are going off, it's not about her policies. Let's keep it real. Yeah, you know me, I'm your girl. We're going to talk about it. I've been gone, but I'm back. Let's talk. Hey, shout out to my folks on the ground that's doing the work. We appreciate you all. But until we can impact the life and take them all the way to a living standard that they can sustain and not stay in the streets, we still have work to do. Word on the street says there are a lot of closed door meetings going on downtown. You wouldn't think I'd go stomping all across this city and not bring y'all back the word. I know y'all don't like politics, but guess what? These problems in DC are systemic, okay? You keep talking about our youth are out of control. Well, I got my beautiful, beautiful experts on the line tonight, and I want you to hear from the brothers, right? Because it takes a man to help make a man. And I know women, I know, I'm not slighting anybody. You're doing the best you could. Hey guys, shout out, I'm just getting back. And I want you to know that I'm working the cameras, working in front and behind. We're gonna get the show done. We're working on changing the platform. So we got a lot of things going on. So stay tuned to the Palms Up platform. Hey guys, word on the street is that downtown, they got a lot of closed door meetings going on. They tell me they got to meet their quota. Last time we checked, there were about 40,000 people. That's what they told us on that wait list for those vouchers. And we know better. We know that number's higher. But what we also know is they're trying to meet a federal government guideline, a deadline, or else that money going back. So I need y'all talking it up. It's no coincidence that Palms Up report card link came out. We've got to stop allowing downtown to dictate the narrative when so many families are still living as they are. Shout out to my beautiful families in Woodbury Village. I told you I was going to go down there and stomp on your behalf. We went down there, we did that red whistle rally right at the Wilson building to let her know. We out here.
In fact, the police was called.
The police came out too, didn't they? Guys, I tell you, we're not following our feet. It's hot. The streets are hot, right? I want you to know, Palms Up, that there's a lot of work to be done. The leadership hasn't changed, so we're not surprised that the tactics haven't changed. A lot of awards being handed out. Got to be careful now because she made that third term. And so now there are folks that are just blowing that smoke and she's walking around with her head on swole. But as long as these guns keep going off, as long as our people are still sleeping in the street, and yes, I heard you out there, DC. I heard you. Help me, help you. We're going to take every voice. Every voice will be heard. Every issue, we're going to amplify it. The media is acting like they want to pick and choose. I understand she told them they ain't going to work in this town if they report on issues that don't make her look so well. Well, I guess what? We're going to give the media a run for their money in 2023. We're going to give these elected officials a run for their money in 2023. And Miss Mayor Bowser, with all that dismissiveness, with all our people sleeping in the street, yeah, palms up to you, you beautiful mayor. We coming because you got to go. And I'm going to say something. The next time we start seeing these headlines backing up on us, youth poverty, people sleeping in the street, our folks are ODing off of fentanyl, the guns keep going off, they stealing the money and trying to hide it. Oh yes, that's why housing's so messed up. They had all those boarded up housing units, and if you're living in those public housing properties, you know what we're talking about. All those units boarded up because somebody stole the money. And guess what? If you don't have a budget and the money's not there, you can't take care of the situation. And the problem is when we let government operate without accountability and without any oversight, they run away with the money. They run away with your resources. Washington, D.C. is unique in nature. The federal government sends money our way to take care of our citizens, all of our citizens. One of the things that stays with me after walking across 8 wards is that the folks on the east side don't understand the concerns on the west. And yes, there are some. And those on the west can't really resonate with the concerns on the east side. And so we wait for the news channel to tell us what it is. And the news channel is compromised by our elected officials. Come on, somebody, and talk about it. Yeah, we got a new attorney general down there, color change. Still got to go down there because Miss Jennifer Berger is in charge of the social justice division. And that's a problem because she would not prosecute that slumlord over in Woodbury Village. Guys, we got work to do. If you 2, 3, 4 generations of DC, this your town. Even if you're one generation, even if you just migrated here, no longer will we live with the lopsided levels of economic realities for our children, but you want them to put the guns down. If the black man is only making $29,000 a year and the white man is making $92,000 a year, we got work to do because they need to stop stealing money. And we keep living the same and our lives don't change and they don't show up in your community till it's time to vote. Ms. Rhonda told you she would be here and I told you I'm not going anywhere until we get these matters taken care of. But everybody's got work to do. And that's why we invited our beautiful guests to the platform tonight. I want to give another shout out before we get started in our interviews to my beautiful husband, Vaughn. You guys don't hear me do this that often. I don't bring my personal life. You know about Mother Regina because she's the mother of the movement. But my beautiful husband has been working through this entire pandemic, holding me down, making sure that all this is happening, bringing the guys out to get the signs up. We out at night and all kinds of things have been going on. But my beautiful husband is starting a new job with the Pepsi family. So, yep, that's right. As we elevate, we bring in all of that wonderful elevation to the community because I need our young brothers and sisters to understand that we do this together. And if you can live with accountable behaviors, then we can help you to elevate. So we're going to talk about some things tonight, but before I go any further, I want to pass the mic over to, or the platform over to my right hand here before I invite Mr. Michael McGee to talk to us a little bit about the work that he is excited to be doing with our coalition. I want you guys to know that when you take a minute to fill out the community report card, there's a mental health survey link that's going to pop up. We're asking everybody to take the survey. I need you to know that mental health, we got to start understanding that mental health is about mental wellness. I'm not talking about you got to have a diagnosis. Anybody knows depression, anxiety, grief. We all in it, guys. So we need your help. We need you talking. We need you helping us. Because when I go back down there, and yes, I'm going back down there, you know your girl, we got to be everywhere because these problems that our families are facing are systemic. So we're going back down there with soldiers, guys. Palms up.
Thumbs up.
Hey, Mr. Michael McGee, thanks so much for your patience. Talk to us a little bit about the work that you do. Give us your formal title. I know that you're Bowie State repping, so tell us about your Bowie State rep. And then talk to us about where we're going with this and what you'd like to see happen as it relates to our Capital City Emergency Level 2 Trauma and Wellness Center project. Well, we got stuff going on.
Come on, man. All right, palms up. All right, welcome everyone. Hey, palms up, palms up. There you go. My name is Mike McGee. I am the director for research here with Healthy DCME. So basically, I'm out of Bowie State University. I'm in my last year at Bowie State. I'm probably looking at going to Howard or maybe continue my education on at Bowie. But basically, as a researcher, what I'm looking at is I'm focusing on trauma, looking at how trauma is how is it affecting our community, and what is going on in our communities to bring on the trauma. As Rhonda just stated, there's a lot of epigenetic inheritance that's going on. What we call it is generational curses, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, and we look at it, we can carry this all the way back to slavery. So what I want us to do is we're looking at what determinants are happening in our community, in our communities that are keeping our communities down. So we're looking at stuff like lack of healthcare in our communities. We're looking at poor education systems in our community. We're looking at lower paying jobs in our community. Even the COVID-19, racism, intimate partner violence. I mean, the list goes on, but the healing has to start from somewhere. And that's where our research is starting. Here with this organization, what we're doing is we're putting these surveys out and we are looking to work with the community to build this trauma center so that way we can eliminate the epigenetic inheritance or the generational trauma that our people have been plagued with for over 400 years. How do we do that? It takes each and every one of us to come together as a united community to make these things happen. So let's look at the data on this, right? In 2003, we had ADHD. Let's look at ADHD as one of the determinants that a lot of our kids are going through. In 2003, ADHD was down somewhere around about 5%, right? Right now, and in 20, I think the last survey was in 2019. We're at 6.4% of our children in the U.S. has a diagnosis of ADHD. The problem here's the problem. The problem is so systemic that it goes all the way back to what's happening with our mothers during pregnancy. Mm-hmm. The hormone release during pregnancy is changing the brain as well as the nervous system with our kids. And that's all because of the lack of resources that we have in our community. And that's one of the reasons that we are working so hard to not only provide the research, but also to provide the resources. So that's what we're doing right now with our research. Right now, we are speaking. We are going from state to state. We're going from ward to ward. We want any ear that's going to listen, we're going to tell them that we need your help. Just like Rhonda said, go on Healthy DCME. Take the mental health survey. But most importantly, take the survey on mental health when it comes to self-esteem, what's going on to your community. What we're going to do and what we're working on doing right now is not just limited to just one research, because this is so many different things that's happening to our community. We want to look at things like surveys around COVID-19 and what happened before and what happened after. How is this going to affect our kids in the long run? We want to look at racism and what racism is doing in our community. Because even though DC was a predominantly Black city, it's no longer that no more.
That's right. That's right.
And we're getting left behind and pushed out. And it's all because they're taking the resources that we have in these communities like Ward 7 and Ward 8, and they're giving those resources to other communities and leaving us behind. That's why it's so important for us to come up with this level 2 trauma center so that we can start feeding the community and we can start reviving the community and we can start doing the things we need to do in the community to get the community healthy. Come on, Healthy DC and me. Palms up. Come on, let's do what we gotta do.
You about to start preaching, Pastor. I mean, I'm just saying, they don't even understand what it means. But you know, Verizon has the network. Well, Healthy DC got the coalition. You know what I'm saying? Palms up to you, Mike. Hang around and stick around. I want to work my other guys into the conversation. Thank you, Mike, so much. I mean, you do it so well. I'm so excited for the work that we're going to do for our communities. And now that we got this politics aside for a minute, it ain't never gone, right? We always got to stay at the table and let them know that the community's voice will be heard. And we will take care of these matters. And yes, some of your responses on the report cards have started to come in. So I'm going to read a few anonymously because you don't need to know who, you need to know what. And we need to know why. And we want to know when, because the nonsense will end. Anytime you see headlines that say youth poverty, that's the red flag moment out there. Hey, Southeast Marching Hornets, palms up. Hey, to my real estate clients, palms up. When we got youth poverty out there, we can all do something. You know me, you know who I am. And now I got my hat in the politics ring, so I want all y'all to come on over there with me. Hey, 6th Street, hey, 4th Street, hey, 3rd Street, calling you out. What's up, Barnaby? Calling you out. And before I go any further, I want to shout out my dear brother, Mr. Keith Washington, who we just buried on Friday. God bless him and all of our fallen soldiers. Guys, we out here, we're connected. It's time to settle down and start talking. Our youth ain't listening to anybody. We can't just let anybody come into our communities, such as these slumlords and these folks that are paying attention to what you're doing, learning how you're living and breathing so they can go and write up something and come back and politic themselves to you and tell you they're your leader. Enough of that. When you see your own step up to try to do some good, then you join the ranks. I understand your paycheck is signed by the folks we trying to move out of there, but you know how to move. You know how we work in this town. You get that word out, you send that information out. We ain't got no business for no closed door meetings after 3 terms and guns going off the way that they are. They have not earned the right to have closed door meetings and not let the community know what's going on. But your girl will, I tell you that. And if you're down there working, you need to be getting word out to the community, because ain't nothing but people that look like you and I that's perishing. And our dear brothers and sisters from another mother, they don't want to live in crime. They don't want to have to deal with it either. So we all are in this together, and that's how we operate from now on. Hey, Bishop Gray. Palms up to you, sir.
Thumbs up.
Hey, come on and tell us about Agape Ministries while I get up and let your young man, and I'm so excited to hear from you guys. Thank you from the bottom of my heart publicly. I know you're a hot commodity. I know everybody want a wingman like you, but they can't have you because you're a Healthy DC and me leader. Hey, come on, Bishop Gray, what it is, who you got with you? What is Agape Men?
Hey, so glad to be here with y'all tonight, you know, especially on this night. This is a special night, and we want to just take a moment and say that in remembrance of one of the greatest reasons why we're here, your mom, and the anniversary time of her passing and being relationship back with God, you know, to be absent from the body is to be present with God. And so we're thankful that she's now overseeing us and guiding our feet and while we're praying and walking in this, you know, so I'm so glad that you invited us out and everything. And I'm going to shift my little bishop hat a little bit and get into my little, other mode, because I wear those hats all out there, and I'm so glad we had the opportunity to walk with you and talk with you during the time that you're still doing it. And that's taking care of our city and being ready to take care of our city. And so we want to just thank you for that. Listen, we're excited. Agape Men is excited. The Agape movement is excited. We're so glad that you invited us to be part of your movement. This is not something that's to be thought of lightly. This is a great thing that we are building with you and being a part of with you. And so we thank you and Overseer Coles for inviting us here tonight. And with me tonight, I just brought some of my great men that's with me. I have in my right, I have my, I don't like to use this word a lot, but I like to use it with him. This is one of my better halves. so I'm real careful about that word, right? But listen, I got the palms up him tonight. I mean, he's actually, let me give him to you. This is Brandon Enoch. He's my operations manager over at Agape House, and he's also one of my pastors under our movement and Agape Family Ministries. And we're building ministries, we're building lives, we're connected to men and women. We're talking to them, we're walking with them. I mean, we're just there. We believe in 100 touches a day, 1,000 touches a week, and we have to touch every man and every woman that we're connected to just that many times. And this is Brandon Enoch with me, and you can get a chance to hear from him. And on my other side, we have one of our youngest, well, actually, we have two of the youngest men in our organization that is very close to us and they're always with us. And to my left, I have Kimante. He's with us tonight, and he's one of our youngest. And he was with us, Rhonda, during the time that, of course, you remember that, and walked the streets with us, went to doors with us, get to learn about the politics a little bit, got to know about the movement in politics, and brand new. So all our young men ain't out there. So we're going to get into that in a little while. But all our young men ain't out there creating fuss or being part of fuss. And so, yes, we palms up our young men out here, and this is Kimante. And so we're going to flow with your flow and, ask questions or whatever we need to ask or do. We're here to serve you.
Hey, you know what? I've heard that for the past 6 months or so, and it always sounds good and never gets too tired of hearing. And it's because of those young men and the beautiful work that you and your pastor Enoch over there. I'm going to shout out him and his beautiful family in just a minute, because they have just been so welcoming, so supportive. And when my competitors showed up on their doorstep, they said, "Oh, no, we voting for Dr. Hamilton." They said, "What you mean? She's not even on the ballot." Doesn't matter. Dr. Hamilton is our choice. And that's what we came back to show up. I'm so honored that so many was down with Dr. Hamilton. And even at the last minute, all the calls that came in, because you just didn't know, we get it. But that was the preview to the show that's coming. Hey, Minister Enoch, palms up to you.
Palms up.
Hey, I knew this day would come that I'd be across from you and able to thank you profusely, you and your beautiful family. Palms up to your beautiful wife up there holding it down. The beautiful church. I want you to talk to us, of course, about your work with Agape, but definitely help us understand the legacy that your church is holding down up there. Brought me in there to meet other denominations, had our brothers, our Caribbean brothers and sisters talking about Miss Hamilton. We with Miss Hamilton. Come on, Pastor Enoch, how's it going? And palms up to you. And from the bottom of my heart, God bless those beautiful children of yours rocking with Mayor Hamilton.
Amen. Much gratitude to you. I appreciate it. We all are out here with our palms up. We are fighting for our people. We're fighting for the cause, the same causes that Dr. Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and the people who came before us fought for, because at the end of the day, we still seek equality. We still seek justice. When you're seeing 5 Black officers beat another brother to death, we still have a lot of work to do. And so it's not about one, it's about the whole, and just being a minister, I tell people all the time that Jesus left the 99 for the one that was lost. And so we're out here to address the mental health. We're out here to make sure that our brothers sleeping on blankets have something to eat, because a lot of people forget about the little people, but the little people really matter, and so we need to make it known that the little people also have voices, that they're still human and there's still humanity left in the world. And so that's what agape is all about. It's an unconditional love, not just for self, but for our other self, which is our brothers and sisters, And so once we realize that it's not just about us, it's about others, we begin to serve as a unit together. And so the fellowship and everything that we bring at the Agape House is the same thing we want to be able to teach other brothers and sisters, to teach the global economic stability and race pride, because we are a city with a beautiful past, and there's so much history here that's overlooked. Just like I shared with Sister Rhonda Hamilton, that our church, our Redeemer, was founded by Dr. Daniel Wiseman, who was a Howard University graduate, and he came from the West Indies in 1886. And this is the largest African American church in the United States of America, and it's not even recognized in the District of Columbia. But it's not about people recognizing us, it's about us going to work. And so at our church, we have 4 churches in one building currently, and we also have a daycare, and we're all working together, because I tell people at the end of the day, like King said, it's only one truth, and the truth is the truth. It's no religion higher than righteousness and truth. So if we teach our people to be righteous and to live in truth, then all the commandments are covered. And so we're teaching each other how to cover one another and hold each other accountable for being, hands up inside of our community.
I love that. That's a perfect segue. And before we bring our little soldier in, our younger soldier, palms up to you, Minister Enoch, and everything that you just spoke on. I tell you guys, we do have work to do. And yes, it is about being recognized, and for our community to understand that, we're rebuilding. We're in a rebuilding mode. We understand the spiritual war. We realize that many of our youth, they need the foundation that we can bring, because we lived it, we made it through, right? And you brothers can speak to that. So I love to hear that you all, having made it through, you didn't have to come back and do this work. You don't have to do what you do, but you choose to do it. And that's what makes the difference. And we say it all the time. The danger of having unaccountable government is that when those funds come in, they funnel that money to organizations unlike ours that are doing the work, and yours, they send it to their buddies, and then there's no accountability, and you wonder why we still have the same problems. Just sat in a meeting, they tell me there's a beef in the neighborhood, and we got all these violence interrupters. And I'm not, shout out to my violence interrupters, palms up if you're doing the job. But even you go home at the end of the day with all these guns still going off, and you have to ask yourself, how effective are we? What do your key metrics look like? Where are you making adjustments at? Because these guns was going off before I ran for office, and they're still going off, and she's daily getting awards, and I'm not sure what in the heck is she celebrating on the backs of all of our families lost and our youth in the street. I'm just saying, palms up to my beautiful African-American men out here helping the next generation make it through as we deal with this pandemic of gun violence. But I want you to know this gun violence has helped, because we have leaders that are not willing to be accountable, and they're making it about themselves. But little do they know, we're in building mode. Thank you, soldiers, for coming to the platform today, and palms up to you guys. Come on, Bishop Gray, introduce me to my beautiful soldier right there. You mentioned his name. Bring him on in for me and tell me what he's doing.
This is one of our youngest guys, and he's been with us for the last 6 months, right? Yeah, 6 months. And he's marching with us, walking with us, and he's learning and he's teaching. One thing about Agape Men, we don't believe that an age, whether we're higher or lower, make us a mentor or a mentee. We believe that there's an experience in the younger or the older that can be transferred, and that's what makes us a mentee, right? Or a mentor. So we have young men who teaches us things and teaches us what's going on out there. And so in some parts, this is my mentor sometimes, so he's teaching, he's moving, he's shaking me into the knowledge that I need to have in order to do the work that I do. So this is Kima. Kimonte, I'm sorry. We call him Jay.
Hello, Kimonte, and welcome to the platform, and palms up to you, soldier.
Voice.
I gotta keep my youth around me, so I keep my street cred going. Y'all do things differently than we did back in the day. Welcome, brother. How are you?
I'm good.
I'm telling you, it must be real interesting to be your age and in your demographic during these times. What's going on in your world out here? What's your perspective of what's going on in our city when we got so many guns and violence? And I don't mean to put you on the spot, but just from a general overview, tell us old fools how we can help our young soldiers. From your opinion, of course.
I mean, some people only do what they see, so I have better role models out here too.
I like that. So, that's a call out to us, our generation and the generation before me. When my young brothers come to the platform and say that they're doing what they see and they could use some more mentors out there. So all my beautiful folks rolling on your rims and going to your nice houses and going home for the evening and watching the news. We got some young brothers out here that could really use your extra hand, your extra word, your extra input. Are you a DC native?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. All right. Got any plans on the horizon for what you're gonna do when you become a full-grown man? What you gonna do? What you into?
I'm into computers and stuff, but right now
I love it.
Right now, I'm taking college courses for business.
I love it. And how old are you again, if you don't mind me asking?
16.
16, working on computers and taking college courses. I tell you, Agape Ministries. Talk to me about your take on it. I know he's sitting right next to you. You can do some eyeball movements or something if you need rescuing. Now, just flag, palms up. That's my attempt at humor. But talk to us from your perspective. Why would Agape Ministries maybe work for some of our other men out there, or young men out there?
I mean, we basically do it so you can help other people in need and other people that need help or hasn't really had a father figure or any type of figure.
I love that. And one of the things I want to ask you is with the political situation, what was so important for me is that we gave you guys a fair look. Too often we're dictating to you all or we're leaving you out of the process. It did my heart so great just to know that you guys are willing to go out there and stomp for me. And some of you hadn't yet shook my hand or knew me yet. And I want you to know that that just spoke volumes because you guys were willing to do what members of my family, palms up, I'm gonna call it out. Members of my family and folks in my community that knew me wouldn't do. Talk to me about this politics in terms of what you observed and whether or not you thought there was anything that you learned from that process. And if so, if you'll share with us.
To be honest, I don't really know.
Okay, that's fair. When you were greeting people and just putting flyers out or just understanding that you guys were helping to help possibly the next mayor get elected, did that mean anything for you? And if so, could you give me some perspective?
I mean, it was cool helping somebody out. Somebody else do what they want to do. Because you want to be mayor and you need some people to help.
And what does being mayor mean? Is that something you can see yourself doing?
No.
Why not? You're so intelligent.
That's not for me. I don't want to be mayor. Somebody else can have that spot.
I appreciate that. So they shouldn't step up unless they're ready to do the work, right? Hey, brother, I just want you to know before you go off into all your glory and your greatness that you are awesome. And I hope that as much as you walk out Great City or pass by our other youth, that you can continue to be a mentee, a mentor, and everything in between to help our youth. Because I just believe everything starts with a conversation. And if we're not willing to approach folks and listen and humble, then we can't really help them out of what they're going through. And I'm so excited that Dre and the Agape Men Ministries and folks like Pastor Enoch are taking the time to work with you all so that we can build a foundation. Will you help us go across this great city and get this positive word out and help save some troubled souls?
Yes, ma'am.
I appreciate that. I love my men at Agape Men Ministries. Hey, Bishop Ray, I want to pop back over to Mr. McGee in just a moment, but talk to me as we start to turn the corner in our final hour and help me understand what's on the horizon and talk to me about what you see both spiritually and not so spiritually in terms of what it's going to take for our city. And the reason why I say not so spiritually, there are folks that'll just tune out as soon as they hear God, won't even give it a chance because of whatever their experiences are. But real talk, it's going to take all of us coming from every part of with a stake in saving our streets and saving our communities. Would you share some perspective, please?
Sure, great. That's exactly where I want to be at in ministry, and on here tonight, and even tomorrow, and away from here, away from the camera. And I want people to understand that ministry is not doing what ministry is supposed to be doing. So we need to take a new look at what ministry is. So here's the thing. I want you to see something. God is still God, and he still has the same plan for our lives. The problem is that we're not operating as God wants us to operate. So he's reaching in and he's grabbing a ram in the bush. And watch this, the ram in the bush is here. It's changing how we use ministry. The church has been a band-aid to trauma for so long now. We need to get away from band-aiding or covering up the wound. And someone told me once upon a time ago, a scab, it's on your body. That don't mean it's healed. It's just that it's on there trying to do a work. But if we peel that scab constantly off, it leaves a scar that won't ever go away. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the church has been about, is leaving scars that won't ever go away. And so we want to take a new look, a new walk at how to use ministry the way God wanted us to use it. Hallelujah, dance and shout. We don't want to be all about the pulpit. We don't want to be all about running up and down aisles, putting the choirs together, and building up your usher boards. We want to be about the ministry of touching souls, being able to go out and reach a 16-year-old. I mean, just take a hot second to say, when we opened up our doors on Sheriff Road in Northeast, we went over there. We did not know that we was only going to be there for a hot second. We was being obedient to God. We went and opened the doors, and the season for us being there started showing itself. And so we was over there, and that's how Key Monte came into our organization. Him and his 13-year-old nephew lived right next door, and they was out front, and you can see that there was a need. And instead of being men, like so many of our community is doing now, we're ignoring those needs instead of going towards that need. So we came out the door and was like, hey, how can we help you? Because you're standing here calling us out to ask us for the help. So we went out and we built our relationship and been together ever since. We moved away from Sheriff Road, and guess what? He's still with us. I mean, he leaves school and come to us. He leaves the classroom and come to us. And we got to be there for him. It's a new way about church. It's a new way about ministry. And it don't mean we have to go for the TP and what's the thing, a cross on top of the bell and all that kind of stuff. It's all about taking the church to the people, the community. And the church is you. The church is us. Now, I don't want ever to be heard and heard wrong. And I say, close your church doors and stop doing what you're doing. What I'm saying is we need to stop the Band-Aid ministry.
Hey, let the community say amen. But before they do, let me get in my lane and pass it to my expert in matters of church and folk. Hey, Pastor Coles, Overseer Coles, come on and co-sign. I know you want to tag team now. Come on,
I mean, it's just confirmation. And I was talking to my ministers yesterday and said the word ministry is so broad, but we've become so closed-minded.
Hey.
And it's just a problem. I'm like, you go out here, but are you developing relationships with people? You want to go out, put these events on, but do you go back to that community? Over the past couple of weeks, I've had to have Rhonda calm me down. I'm always saying I ain't had my purple pill, sat in a meeting and discovered some of the problem in our communities that have these community centers. They got gatekeepers that
Come
really
on.
don't want to help that community
Come on,
that
God.
they're in. And I got an issue with that.
Oh no, the mayor coming. Oh, attorney so-and-so gonna put a program over here, Pastor. Coach. We must gonna be it.
And I got issues with pastors and churches, and I'm a pastor. How you manipulate people and make it seem like it's so impossible to really get a relationship with our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And just sit down and talk to them. Show them love. Stop judging. And none of us are perfect. We got imperfections ourselves. We're striving. But we don't know how to communicate with each other.
Hey,
And it bothers me. I tell people, I don't build congregations. I help open ministries that go out to the people.
Amen.
To the people. And then you got to be willing to commit to the people. It's not a 9-to-5 job. If you really want to be effective in it, it's 24/7. And it does, if you marry that, your mate is with it, because it can break up relationships. We don't keep it real. If the household they don't want to go, it can hurt. And I've seen that happen too.
amen.
But I've just seen so many people hurt because of church. I've survived church hurt. It's real. It ain't in your imagination. It's real.
And what they say, overseer, hurt people do what?
Hurt people.
Hurt people.
Put the
But
guns down and do what?
And the Bible is there done. I'm gonna just keep it 100.
Guys, I want to shout out all my beautiful leaders on the call, but I want to take a moment before I read a message that came in. One of the messages, the many messages that came in, we just put the link out there for the community report card, and it's not going anywhere. It will become a permanent part of day-to-day, because we realize that our city needs help in being accountable, and because they have such a lack of oversight, the voices on the community level must rise. We must unite. And I love my folks out there that advocate for themselves. I've seen several council members. Who's that tweeted not too long ago? Councilmember White, go do it for yourself, or don't wait for somebody else. Well, that's a likely thing to say when you're down there with them taking the money and carrying on. I'm just saying, allegedly. Let me not pull a Tasha K. Anybody who knows Tasha K, palms up. Hey guys, it's your girl, I'm back. And we're gonna talk about it. And Mr. Michael McGee, I'm coming your way because these guns keep going off. I saw a statistic that said that in the first 19 days or something like that, there were 13 killings. Shout out to Kill 'Em All Network out there who keeping the city abreast of what's going on with all these statistics. And there are many of you out there doing it. And we love that. We need the social media, but we need soldiers on the ground, and we need to make sure we have leaders in place that care about our community. Hey, welcome to the call. I want anybody that's on the call that's coming through the community aspect that wants to share a word in on this week's show, please unmute and come forward and introduce yourself. We'd love to hear your word. Hello. This is your time to speak. I've let a few people into this meeting. Come on out and say palms up, or just say hello, would you?
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh, I hear
Yes.
you. Palms up. Too.
Hi, how you doing? Now this person, Dr. Cole, is gonna be shocked when I say this is Tanny on the phone. But
Oh my God.
Hi, Tammy. Palms up. We rounding up.
Thumbs up with y'all. Sorry, yeah, sorry I'm not showing face, but trust the process is pretty much what, speaks volumes for me. But I just wanted to come on here and say thank you. And I'm just coming on here for the first time. I've been trying to make this connection for a minute to sit and listen to your your Zoom. And I just wanted to say yes, very much so. I'm a native Washingtonian. I had been away for a while and went to Maryland, and I recently moved back to DC a couple of months ago. And I have a lot of history with DC, and as well as Dr. Cole was saying, I've experienced church hurt. I come from a different aspect, of this thing, but I know my community very well, and I think it's time for me to jump in the ring and give myself, an opportunity to help and rebuild, because as I told Dr. Cole, I'm a member of the Community Church of Washington, D.C. And the Community Church of Washington, D.C., that is not just a name that we have. We are a community-based church. We are ones that will go in Ward 8. We are ones who have walked the line. We are believing in social, justice, and we advocate for our people. And I'm just interested in seeing what part I can do to help and assist. So this is like my leeway to start. I'm coming not on behalf of my church, but I was asked to come and see, what it is that we could do as our community to come together and help the community build what we
I
know
love
Washington,
that.
D.C. once was. So that's
I
pretty much where I'm coming from.
Oh, you coming from a great place, sister. Palms up to you. And thanks so much for trusting the
Palms
process.
up.
And most importantly, trusting God. And hey, we got a homegirl back. Yeah, we need you over there in the city. I would
Oh,
love
yeah.
I'm going to depend on our Overseer Coles to get you on our list. We got quite a few things going on. And before we close out, I'm going to go down the list. And we got plenty of room for you. We need help. We need hands. And God bless you. And thank you. Thank you so
Thank you.
much. Hey,
Thank you.
Michael McGee. Will
Yes,
you come on before we get on out of here? I just wanted to see if you can leave us with a word. These guns are going off. We just heard our beautiful young soldier share that they're doing what they see, Mike. And what is research going to do? You know how we are in the community when we don't get it. Why is research important? And most importantly, why is it important that we are at the table spearheading the research?
So let's take it back to history. One of the reasons that we are at the table is because the healing needs to start somewhere, right?
Hey.
Currently, right now, if we look at it, for over 400 years of slavery, that's 16 generations. 16 generations. We didn't have Medicare. We didn't have we didn't have Social Security back there. We didn't have no health insurance. We didn't have anything back there. We never dealt with the trauma that came from slavery. We've been putting band-aids on the problem over these last 16 generations. But guess what? There is hope. There is a lot of hope.
Absolutely.
One generation right now, Rhonda, one generation is 25 to 30 years. It takes three generations, which is 75 to 90 years, to change the genetic inheritance that we have brought on through slavery. But if we have never dealt with it, then we can never have change. And what they say, what is insanity? Insanity is expecting a different result and doing the same thing over and over again, right?
Hey, Mike.
So I'm sorry, Rhonda, I got to go, but I'm just letting you know we're ready. I'm fired up. I'm ready.
know you are. Hey, look.
Palms up. Let's go.
Let's go, Mike. Let's go.
I know you want to hear more from Mike. Like I said, Mike is on our About Us page. Our Bishop Gray and Agape Men's profile is on our About Us page on the healthydcandme.org website. It's not all about you, girl. I'm just I'm just delivering the message. You feel me? We got a coalition of leaders ready, and we got folks showing up to the platform, signing up, because this is truthfully a time for healing. And when you get tired of seeing that TV telling you time and time again that our people are falling and perishing, turn that TV off and get in touch with an agency like ours. We out here. I heard something, one of our brothers and sisters from another mother, I was looking at another channel, they said, when are the Black people going to care about the issues in the Black community? Well, yeah, we do need to step up, but we need to recognize that in DC, with all that's going on, these are not just Black issues anymore. Everybody needs to take responsibility for the perishing of our youth. Our children matter. And when the words youth poverty, and I'll keep saying it, when they appear in the same setting, it's time to do something. We had a 13-year-old shot. Shout out to my dear friend. I'll call you Mr. Long, because I don't do those monikers past 50. I need you guys to know that our children are under siege, and if they're out there not making the best decisions, because we're missing. Okay? And when we are missing, we have a government that fights back and forth over the criminal code. Y'all better do some work now. I'm not doing this work by myself. All right, community report card. want to read one of the links and requests that came in. The complaint description says that Ward 7 is a dumping ground. Leaders overlook residents' concerns to profit themselves. Where have we heard that before? So not only were we on the ground in 8 verifying it, also over in 5, but now we're hearing from 7. And the beautiful thing about this community report card is your word. No longer will they be able to say that you're not voting, you're not speaking up. See, I get why you didn't show up to vote. I get why they played all the games. And still I went out there because I wanted you to see me. Until we recognize that nothing's going to change, until we go out there and change it, then we get what we get. It says that the city's throwing money into old models that do not work for the upcoming generation. The city is listening to people and leaders who have a history of taking money from youth programs. Exhibit A. Mr. Trayon White in the primaries. I know he's popular among some of you, but we're talking facts now. If they're gonna be popular moving forward, they got to go through the fact meter. And factually, we found out in the debate in the primaries that Mr. Trayon White didn't allocate money for the community centers in Ward 8.
Yeah.
And you want to know why youth to run around, but when it's time to get elected, which he's going to be back on your doorstep soon because it's time to run again. And shout out to Mr. Salim Adolfo over there. We keep an eye on things. We watching the landscape. The leadership must change if they're not going to be accountable. They don't have to serve and be your friend. They can be your lifelong friend, but they need to get out the way because our families are perishing. Hey guys, it's your girl, and already in 2023, I lied. It's 8:02, and we ready to wrap this up, but I need you guys to know that there's so much to bring you. I just needed you to know I wouldn't come back here limping, right? You don't want to hear nothing like that. You were just as discouraged as we were when we saw all the madness, but we expected it, truth be told, but we could not. Your girl and her team could not let you be so discouraged that you go voting for a comedian. Woo, I had to say it, palms up. When the pickings get so slim that you willing to go pull that level for someone telling jokes that you ain't seen around your community recently. See, when we don't do what we're supposed to do, vulnerability sets in and people say we right for the picking. If you want these guns to stop, roll your sleeves up, palms up, and come out here and join the work. Hey guys, it's your girl. I appreciate you guys indulging us this week. First and foremost, thanks to all my beautiful guests on the platform. It just seems like an hour isn't long enough, but don't you worry about that. They tell me we got 18 social media platforms, and I can't max out in one. Been out in the street doing the work. They say, well, who is that? I wanted them to know we didn't chase the news cameras when we was coming to run, when we getting these calls of distress. But I tell you what, we're doing this together now. And across 8 wards, there is a Palms Up community report card link. It's everywhere. And if it ain't there, put it there for us. Palms Up. Everybody can do something. I'm going back down there in 4 years, and I don't have a problem with letting you know. At first, I didn't want to do this politics stuff, but they're not going to do right. If we don't do something and keep somebody steadfast, paying attention, watching this kingdom, going down there to represent our issues, we're going to sit up and watch them hit the ball back and forth the net. And she got that award for 3 terms, but you know, that's on us. That's on us. Because if we don't come together and get together and do something different, she'll keep tripping around this city like she's doing something that she's not. And that's why I need you guys speaking up. We don't do bullies in this town, not from the Healthy DC and Me Coalition. I walk those streets, right? I got leaders with me that walk those streets. You know who them beautiful, sharp little young men and women grow up to be? Bishop Gray, Minister Enoch, Overseer Coles, Dr. Rhonda Hamilton. Don't get it twisted. Ward 8, Ward 765. It don't matter. It don't matter. It's what's in your heart. Palms up out there. Your girl is back. I got to get these schedules together. But before I get out here, I need you to know Healthy DC and Me Leadership Coalition is on a mission to build back excellence in DC. My brothers and sisters and my youth, we come from excellence. We don't need the government or anybody else to dictate to us when you know you're not supposed to be living like that. Healthy DCME leadership is going to raise the living standard in this town. We're going back to be a pain in the butt. We've got to introduce ourselves to this new office of Attorney General to see what they're talking about, which we already know, right? But we're going to break that nonsense up. And guess what? When preparation meets opportunity, we succeed, baby. We succeed. So we're getting prepared for the opportunity that's before us. And what is that opportunity? They starting those closed door meetings again. The council and the mayor can't get it together again, fresh off an election. They came together to give you that united, oh, we got the city, we together, come on, and y'all went and voted them back in, and now they don't even get along. So who you think gonna be the sacrificial pawn? Yeah, you got to start talking it up on that community report card link, because there's power in numbers. And you have my word that once a month, these letters will land on their desk and the media will come. And we will get the answers we deserve. Because if we don't start speaking it up now, they're gonna put some joker before you come next election. And then you gotta be finding out who you're gonna vote for, and you pick the comedian. Come on, y'all. I know we desperate. I know that if we home people, but there has to be some qualifications if we're gonna stop this mess. Otherwise, you let them go back in by default, which is what we're dealing with. But that's okay. I'm gonna leave you with a word for the day, and then I promise you I'm gonna wrap up. The word for the day, repeal. When they don't do what they're supposed to do, when elected officials get elected and they don't do the job and things get as bad as they are, we have the ability to put a repeal addendum together, just like we can ask for receivership of slumlords in these communities. It's all right in front of us in the DC Tenant Bill of Rights, but they make friends with you, play on your emotions so you don't get educated. Well, the Healthy DCME Leadership Coalition, Bishop Gray, Overseer Coast, Minister Enoch, Dr. Rhonda Hamilton, Mr. Michael McGee, in charge of research, we're not having it. We come from excellence and we will return. My beautiful young souls out there, come on, let's go. Palms up, palms up. I want you to know that we're about preserving life. We are about raising the living standards. We're about stopping this violence. And we're about ending the systemic holds that keep you living like that. So keep talking. I heard you, Woodbury. I know how humiliated you were to have to go through all that, living with mold and no heat, and watch these folks come to your community and mock you and ignore you. I understand how it feels to call the mayor upset and frustrated, tears in your eyes, and she's being dismissive or passing you off. I get it. I know that you don't want to live in that raggedy housing unit. I get that they're still playing games even though the pictures came out. I'm with you. I'm with you. I am former. It's in the books, baby. I'm former DC mayoral candidate, Dr. Rhonda Hamilton of Ward 8 of this beautiful, great city. I've walked in all 8 wards and we all matter. Until we all come together, nothing's going to change. But none of this closed door meetings. This is January. We're serving notice on them. And she will get my letter. After I go through all of the first links that come through and after we coordinate everything, they will hear your concerns. We will amplify your concerns every Tuesday. We will walk this walk together and we won't wait 4 years. I don't care what kind of awards they gave out. We will not wait 4 years. So let's go, DC. Let's go. You don't get to stand in the middle no more. You don't get to look through those phones and not be accountable. Choose. That's right. You gotta choose. Palms up. It's your girl, and I want you to know that healthydcme.org is the website where you can get all of our wonderful information. We have so much going on. Didn't even get to talk to you about our Frederick Douglass and our Abraham silver coins that we're taking into the school to teach our children. We're not going to do this no more. We're not going to break those generational cycles and curses that Bishop Gray spoke about. A half ounce of gold. What is this? A half gram of gold? You know that a half gram of gold costs you almost $200. You know about it out there? I'm just saying, it's time to elevate. We can't help our communities if we have nothing to offer. And it's about wealth introduction. This job situation, these training programs, people are going to lose these jobs. These youth lose their jobs and go back to the corner. We need career and sustainable education for these youth that are so intelligent. You just met a 16-year-old scholar. He needs to know about the next great thing, not about what you didn't do and how you failed. Teach him something new, and that's what we're about. www.healthydcandme.org, and Project Enough is our gold mine program coming out for our children. If you want to know more about it, projectenuff.com. All right, Overseer Coles, I thank you guys for letting me go 10 minutes over, considering we started 10 minutes in. You got anything you want to say before we roll this ship on out of port?
Just Happy New Year, and better is coming. Love on yourself. No matter what anybody say, love yourself. And that's not being arrogant. And be able to talk to somebody, but be careful who you talk to.
Hey,
Okay? Be careful.
hey, palms
Love
up,
that,
I
love
said,
that.
we back. We back, and we could look, Thelma and Louise is back in the saddle. It's time to bring the noise. Bishop Gray and all my beautiful guests, Minister Enoch again, Mr. Michael McGee, my beautiful 16-year-old scholar. I don't want to mess your name up because he gave me your nickname and your regular name all in one. So I don't want to be a Bama like that. But I appreciate you, my little young soldier. Also, to our beautiful guests. Hey guys, it's your girl, it's Rhonda Hamilton for DC, and I ain't going nowhere. You're gonna see me in all of my platforms. Wherever you stop, send me a word and let me know you with us. Next time my name goes on that ballot, we tried a thing, and we did it all the way to the end. For who? You. And to let them know we ain't never scared. The nonsense will end. Palms up. It's your girl, it's your girl. Look for our messages, check our website out, give me a call. Don't stay quiet out there. Let's go. The movement starts now. Amen.
Amen.
All right, guys. Talk to you soon. See you next Tuesday. Until then, stay safe. Talk to a youth, save a life. Bring them our way, but don't stay quiet. Palms up to you guys. See you soon. All right, DC. It's your girl, it's your girl. Thanks so much, and I love you all. Bye-bye. All right, Ann. How do we shut her down? There she go.